A critically acclaimed psychological drama, Damien Chazelle's Whiplash, explores the cost of excellence within the world of New York jazz. The film explores the relationship between aspiring drummer Andrew Neiman and his damaging conductor Terence Fletcher, examining what a person is truly willing to sacrifice in the pursuit of greatness. Chazelle positions the audience to question whether ambition is gratifying or destructive on his journey, as Andrew's obsessive drive to become one of the greats threatens to consume his relationships and identity. Chazelle uses tight camera work, intense sound, and rapid editing to exhibit that although Neiman's ambition threatens to take over his life, it may be necessary because it leads him to become the musician he is always inspired to be. Through close-up cinematography and dialogue, Chazelle explores the destructive cost of ambition through Fletcher's psychological abuse of Andrew. This idea is explored in Andrew's first band rehearsal with Schaefer, where Fletcher verbally attacks Andrew in front of the entire ensemble for not being able to play to Fletcher's required tempo. A close-up shot reveals a singular tear rolling down Andrew's cheek, positioning the viewer to feel sympathy for Andrew, while also revealing his determination as he suppresses his full emotion. This furthermore demonstrates the harm he does to himself in the pursuit of greatness. This scene establishes that Andrew's ambition makes him willing to endure Fletcher's harsh treatment. Chazelle further develops this power imbalance through a two-shot of Fletcher and Andrew, where Fletcher stares directly at Andrew, who cannot bring himself to make eye contact with him. A dark, heavy space fills the tight gap in between them, visually representing the toxic nature of their relationship. As a mentor, guidance and encouragement should be exhibited, but there's only fear and dominance present. Fletcher's dominant posture heavily contrasts with Andrew's tense body language, reinforcing that this is not truly a mentorship, but a form of negative control over Andrew. However, Chazelle later deliberately challenges the audience perception of Fletcher through the intimate scene at the jazz club, where the two reunite after Fletcher's dismissal from Schaefer. The setting of the club is predominantly covered in dark shadow, with soft yellow tones illuminating their faces. A close-up shot is utilised when Fletcher says, "I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them." This dialogue leads the viewer to question if Fletcher's actions were purely cruel, if he saw unseen potential in him, or if the two can simultaneously be true. This idea correlates with Chazelle's exploration of whether the pursuit of greatness can somewhat justify the harm to Andrew's identity and relationships. Chazelle further explores the destructive price of obsession by demonstrating how Andrew's obsessive pursuit of greatness forces him to abandon his relationships. This is evident when Andrew coldly breaks up with his girlfriend Nicole in the diner, explaining that drumming will always come before any relationship. A mid-shot frames Andrew across the table from Nicole, a physical gap further illustrating the emotional gap his ambition has forced. Nicole's wretched expression is only captured for a brief moment before Chazelle rapidly cuts back to Andrew, whose face carries no guilt, only a cold, direct expression. Through mise-en-scene and rapid editing, Chazelle positions the audience to feel uncomfortable as Andrew's ambition begins to destroy his relationships. This detachment is further explored through Andrew's interactions with his father, the only person in his life who has always offered unconditional love and support. At their family dinner, a wide shot places Andrew surrounded by his family and relatives. As this should be a warm, calm and nurturing event, Andrew is clearly disconnected from everyone at the table, sitting in silence, visibly frustrated by the ordinary life he is surrounded by. Chazelle's editing demonstrates Andrew's cold, dark, distant expression, juxtaposed with the warm yellow tones of the dinner setting. As Andrew's obsession with drumming grows stronger, his relationships become strained, demonstrating Fletcher has influenced every corner of Andrew's life. These quieter moments reinforce that the cost of Andrew's ambition is not only felt on the stage, but in the relationships he sacrifices in the pursuit of greatness. Chazelle ultimately argues that while Fletcher's methods are deeply harmful to Neiman's identity, they are the catalyst that transforms Andrew into the musician he has always strived to be. This idea is explored in the film's climactic ending, where Andrew is seemingly broken by the manipulation and betrayal of Fletcher, purposely giving him the wrong music sheet in order to humiliate and destroy Neiman permanently. Fletcher's methods clearly work as Andrew exits the stage embarrassed and bewildered by Fletcher's overbearing power once again. However, Andrew returns to the stage and defies Fletcher by launching into a thunderous drum solo, an act of defiance that marks a pivotal change in their relationship, as now it is Andrew who holds the power. Rapid editing cuts between Andrew's bleeding hands, Fletcher's stunned expression, and the silent audience creates a scene of unstoppable momentum. Chazelle furthermore builds his tension through rapid cuts between Andrew's driven performance and Fletcher's shifting conductions, making the audience feel a sense of exhilaration and overwhelming awe. The tight camera work closes in on Andrew's face, no longer carrying humiliation and bewilderment, but instead confidence and fierce determination. Chazelle positions the audience to feel a sense of thrill, but also some uncertainty, as the scene is so intense and overwhelming. It is clear that Fletcher did break Andrew, and in breaking him, made him extraordinary. Chazelle does not provide the audience with a clear resolution, but instead leaves them with the idea that the destruction of self and the pursuit of greatness are one and the same. Ultimately, through Andrew's journey, Chazelle explores ambition and the isolation, pain, and self-destruction that goes with it. The relationship Andrew abandons, the blood he has dropped, and the tears he has forced himself to hold back, all speak to the idea of consuming obsession. Yet in the film's final minutes, where Andrew commands the stage in a masterful performance that silences Fletcher, the audience is left with the uncomfortable idea that in the end, Andrew got exactly what he wanted, and almost lost everything in the process. Whether this is a triumph or catastrophe, Chazelle never truly makes clear, but to Andrew, this moment is all that ever mattered.